Let's talk about why the data lakehouse matters. This is a Snowflake webinar, so I want to focus on like imagine you're a Snowflake user or you are a Snowflake user. Something that Snowflake did that was really innovative was decoupling storage and compute. So you could scale compute independent of storage. But one of the limitations that still exists today with a data warehouse like Snowflake and other data warehouses out there is compute and storage are still coupled at the vendor level. So data is stored in a proprietary data format, which means if you have the data stored in Snowflake, you have to use that Snowflake compute, which comes with, its own strengths and its own weaknesses.
Yeah, and that was pretty revolutionary at the time that Snowflake, even though it was still all sort of part of the same stack, was able to separate compute and storage. If you go back to more of the traditional databases like Teradata or sort of the vertical physical hardware stacks, everything was combined. So it's when we saw what we saw with Snowflake unbundling the compute and storage to some degree, uh, when you see how the data lakehouse has really taken that to the nth degree, I think it'll be pretty impressive for folks to see and understand.
Absolutely. So if we look at how data is kind of coupled now at the vendor level, what if we could move to a world where that's not the case? And this is what the data lakehouse and these file open table formats enable. You can store your data on pure object storage. This could be something like an Amazon S3 or Google Cloud Storage buckets. And then you can actually mix and match different query engines. So you can still bring your Snowflake compute to query on those iceberg tables. And that's what a lot of those Snowflake announcements have been about recently with like the full support for iceberg tables. But you can also bring other engines like Spark for data engineering use cases or Trino in some cases if that's more performant or cost effective for you. So you can mix and match and you're not locked into a certain vendor because the data lives in open formats.